Hello, I'm Tristan Folks, and today on this very rainy day, I will be doing my first ratings video. We will be rating the cities I visited from 10 all the way up to 1 back in the year of 2024. For those who don't know, I travel quite often, and here would be a great opportunity to share some of my experiences with you. Each city is going to be rated in 3 different categories from 1 to 10, which will include my experience, the environment, and the people. The totals will be added up to create an overall score, and then a tiebreaker will be broken by the highest number in each category. Other than that, let's get right into it. Alright, starting off with number 10, and this one is going to be Charlotte, North Carolina. I went out there for the 2024 Copa America third place match between Canada and Uruguay with my friend Michael from Raleigh. So we drove out there, and I haven't been to Charlotte since 2018, but I've had good experiences so far until then. So we had this plan that we were going to meet up at a pub with people, so that's what we did. And then I don't know what happened at that pub, but a few days before that was the Colombia-Uruguay match, and if you are in the sports, you probably know Charlotte was an absolute disaster that night, with the police, security doing absolutely nothing. And then, once Canada and Uruguay are playing, then they want to ramp up and just be on top of things. But it's just too late. And that's, what creates a bad tourist experience. It's not like, I'm not gonna twist this, but there's not many Uruguayans who travel. There's not many Canadians who travel. This match wasn't gonna be attended by a lot of people, which showed. And, they were just very harsh for no reason. It's not like anyone did anything out there that day either. So anyways, we go to this pub, and then we ended up getting kicked out after we got ID'd. I was 21 years old at the time. My friend Mike was 18, and he wasn't underage drinking. We were just getting food, nothing more, nothing less. And then we just get booted out. It's like, okay. So we ended up going to Mount Mushroom instead. So always a great pizza spot, so check it out if you ever see it. Just FYI in the middle of this video. But yeah, it wasn't very nice at all. And then we dealt with the police and security throughout the night too. It's not like we were gonna go do anything. It's not like we were gonna be Darwin Nunes and go get some chairs and throw chairs at people. It's not like we were gonna do that. So overall, that was not it. I checked the pub's website, and the 21 plus rule came into effect after we left. So I don't know. The experience for me was a 5 out of 10. I wish Canada beat Uruguay in PKs, but other than that, I was not a fan of being in Charlotte. The environment was a 4 out of 10. Just the people who control the environment did not make it a very good environment for the most part. And then the normal people were fine, but then the other people, So we'll give that one just a 5 out of 10, honestly. So on to the next. Number 9 on the board is Raleigh, North Carolina. And trust me, I do not hate the state of North Carolina at all. It'd probably be higher on my list than other states for sure. So maybe we need to do a 2024 version of rating states that I visited. Anyways, Raleigh, North Carolina, I don't have anything bad to say about it. I went out there when I flew from New York City to go visit my friend Michael, and I hung out there for a good 3 days. It's a city. It's fine, but it's not a great city at all. I know it's the capital. There's just not a lot to do, but it's fine. Michael introduced me to, some people on the way, so it was pretty cool. At least be out there is pretty chill, but I didn't really do much out there. We went around a little, but nothing crazy. So experience was a 6 out of 10. I enjoyed my time with Michael a lot, but I didn't really care about, the outside of it. It's nothing crazy or great. The environment, we'll just give it a 5 out of 10. Nothing great, nothing bad. Just keep it just dead in the middle there. For the people, we're going to put this one to a 6 out of 10. People aren't bad there at all. Just didn't really see a lot of great things with people, but I got introduced to some, so that's why this went a little higher than maybe I could have put it, so we'll call it that. Number 8 on the board is going to be Kansas City, and we'll include both the Missouri and Kansas side, as I've been on both sides. I have visited Kansas City 4 times this year. One was a Copa America match. Another was when the Tampa Bay Buccaneers played the Kansas City Chiefs. The third one was the USA and Canada playing in the friendly, and the fourth one's the NASCAR playoff race. So I had a good time in Kansas for sure. Kansas City. Can't say I had a good time in the state of Kansas in my past. That's an absolutely no. I liked it, but Kansas City definitely ain't for me. It's nothing great in my opinion. People are fine. I had a good time. It's not fun driving from St. Louis to Kansas City out there. But overall, the experience, I would say, was just an overall 7 out of 10. I could have went with an 8, but I wanted to go with the 7 here. The environment, I didn't really get to take in the environment too much, so we'll keep it at a 6. Since I got to know maybe a couple people, we'll bump this up to a 6 instead of what I would have said was a 5. So overall, I don't have an issue with Kansas City. It just doesn't fit me at all. Number 7 on the list will be Austin, Texas. When I was there, I went to the NASCAR race at Circuit of the Americas, which was very cool. I also got to take in the environment a little that way. I know I wasn't like in the downtown Austin where you know what streets out there. It was pretty cool just kind of seeing the people that just, there's a lot of people that just love racing out there. And the race was, overall a good one. I enjoyed it. And just being around all the people, it was a good time. So for the experience overall, I'm going to put this 7 out of 10. I'm just trying not to take away anything from Austin. I'm sure Austin's a good city. It's better than San Antonio, so can't tell me no on that. The environment will also be a 7 out of 10. And then the people, also 7 out of 10. I enjoyed the people. I didn't get to know them, but could tell the people were very happy and just enjoying the day. Number 6. Indianapolis, Indiana. I went there for the Indy 500, and that was my first Indy 500. What an experience that was. I went with one of my buddies, Ray, who lives out there, and it was a spectacular race. We got to see Kyle Larson out there, as well as Joseph Newgarden win. So that was all pretty cool. That was my first IndyCar race, actually, so absolutely loved it. It was just a party out there. People were just crazy. We parked in someone's lawn, so shout out to them. So yeah, great time out there, but there's some other cities that are higher than that. Indianapolis isn't anything great, but love going out there for the racing. I've been to NASCAR out there also. So overall, we're gonna do the experience being an 8 out of 10. The environment's going to a 9 out of 10. And the people, we're going to keep that at 7 out of 10. Number 5, and I'm just going to make this simplified. New York City. I went out there when Argentina and Canada were playing in Copa America, decide who would go to the final. And I've never been to New York City, so I originally flew in from Newark, and you see the skyline, and I can't lie, from the outside, it's intimidating. I ain't gonna lie. Toronto really isn't intimidating, but it was New York City, oh boy. But once you're inside the jungle, you're all in. So overall, I actually really liked that. I wasn't too sure about how things would be, but overall, the Manhattan area is probably the best part in my opinion, probably the most touristy. So you got all the cool stuff. You got the 9/11 memorial too, but overall, I got to learn about the people more and just kind of respect what everyone does. I don't like how everything's taxed and priced though. That'll have to be a little drop on my rating respectfully. But overall, had a good time. The match, which was at MetLife Stadium, don't really have much to say about that. But it's cool to see Argentina play overall. Really respect them as a side. The pizza is authentic at its finest. So overall, we're going to do my experience being a 9 out of 10. We're going to do the environment being a 8 out of 10. You definitely got your weirdos, which also includes the people. So we'll go with an 8 out of 10 on that. Number 4, and this is where I started weighing in really hard on 2 through 4, but number 4 is going to be Dallas, Texas. I went to Dallas 3 times. And I want to give a shout out for Bryan for helping me out every time. So this definitely helps boost the rating, but then somehow it's still at number 4. So I went to Dallas all for Canada soccer matches. One against Trinidad and Tobago, another against Venezuela, and then the third one was against Mexico. So I enjoyed every time I was out there. There's 6 flags. There's just overall a lot to do, and Bryan introduced us to like some of the other stuff that he knows the in and outs of, so it made the experience so much better to just be out there, and felt very comfortable. Hey, we were winners out there for the most part, so that definitely should boost the rating. Dallas is the best city in the state of Texas, so if you're ever in Dallas, go check it out. The only thing I don't like is there's a million tolls. So overall, my experience in Dallas, because of just how everything went, and nothing went bad, maybe minus the refereeing in the Mexico and Canada match, we're going to say a 10 on the experience. The environment was an 8, and then the people were an 8. Yeah, that's that. Number 3, and we're going overseas for this one. This one will be Rotterdam, Netherlands. What a time to be out there. I only got about 2 full days to be out there, but I loved it. It was just a, very relaxing, peaceful, very chill. I don't think I've been in a place that was as chill as that. So I went there for the Netherlands, Canada friendly, but then I also wanted to take the advantage of, touring everything. So I even rented a bike out there for a day, and I went for a bike ride. The food court out there is absolutely great. It has everything you could ask for. You have the yellow cube houses. Even you see the Feyenoord Ultra signs, or not signs, stickers being posted on stuff. So it felt like you were there. It's a lot of good tourist attractions. I went to let me pull it up real quick. All right, so I actually have a magnet, believe it or not, which pretty much resembles about everywhere I went, including the stadium, so minus the ship. So overall, so you have the Euromass. I just want to make sure I got the name right. Got to go very high up in the air, and you could just see everything throughout Rotterdam, so very sick to do that. The Marthal is the food court. I hope I'm not saying things right. I took public transport to the central station, and then I don't know how to pronounce the houses, so we're not gonna do that. But overall, it was great. And then when they know there's a football match in the area, they'll make sure public transport is very smooth. So shout out to them. They did great with it. Also on the day of the match, I went to a brewery that sells food, makes their own sodas, and wow. And edible straws. Edible straws makes it way better. I ate the straw, obviously. Anyways, for my experience, we're going to do 9 out of 10. The environment, also a 9 out of 10. And the people were a 9 out of 10. The Netherlands supporters were very cool. Number 2 on the list, and this is a tiebreaker, believe it or not, it will be Nashville, Tennessee. And sorry, no offense to Rotterdam, but Nashville does have one thing better. And Nashville's also one of my top tier cities. I think I only went to Nashville once just to visit for a day. And Hattie B's, it's fantastic. You have Broadway out there, fantastic, until the ambulances have to come through. But that's a story for another day, and that's not for me or anyone connected to me. So we're just not gonna talk about that more. I've learned Nashville very well, the ins and outs from visiting so many times at this point. So I feel I got the city mastered down extremely well. You also have Opry Mills, which is a shopping mall out there, very massive. So if you ever have to burn time or do stuff, that's probably your go-to place. There's a lot of things you can get to, and I think that mall is clearly for everybody. Overall, I didn't do too much in Nashville, so we'll just put the experience at an 8 out of 10, but the environment pretty much breaks the scale, 10 out of 10, and then the people, 9 out of 10. You out those every so now and then weirdos. And let's get into number 1. And number 1 on the board, and I'm not sure if this will go down either, and this is not like any bias or anything, and just how I feel about things. And this one is Atlanta, Georgia. The first time I went out there last year was for the NASCAR race last season, which was the second race of the year, which I will be doing again in a few weeks. And then the other time was when Canada and Argentina, you heard me talk about them playing in New York City. They also played in Atlanta, which was for the opener at Copa America. But overall, there's a lot of stuff to do in Atlanta too. You have the World of Coca-Cola, you got the Georgia Aquarium, and then you also have the Olympic Park in that area too. So it's all like summed up together. I feel it's like the primary tourist area in Atlanta, and it's my favorite personally. It's even been my favorite as a kid, so I don't think that would change unless some crazy stuff happens. And I'm not like a theme park person, so I really love Atlanta's tourist attractions out there. My experience out there, minus the loss, was a 10 out of 10. The environment is a 9 out of 10. And then the people, I'm going to say 10 out of 10. I listen to a lot of rap, so I would say Atlanta is where all the rap, comes out of. So it's really easy to get along with people. You know their vibes. So that's why I give the people the 10 out of 10. So that'll conclude my first ratings video. Hopefully you enjoyed hearing a little about my experiences, and I look forward to sharing my travel experiences later this month. And that will include my road trip to Florida. And then, like I said in a previous video, I'll be attending the Daytona 500 and Am Better Health 400 at Atlanta. And I'll also be getting some videos of the tourist attractions I just mentioned in Atlanta too, because I'll be staying a few days out there. I'll also be going to LA in March for CONCACAF Nations League finals, so we'll get some content out there too. So hit the subscribe button if you want to see all of that and beyond that too. Other than that, thanks for watching, and I hope you have an amazing day. Take care.